Alright guys, part 4 of my Devil May Cry 5 Nero commission. Whew, running through these videos. So, this part is going to be covering on how I made Nero's jacket. This is by far the most detailed jacket that I ever done. And I mean by far the most detailed jacket that I have ever done. That is not an exaggeration. This jacket was something else. It really was. It actually pushed my skills to the limit, which I didn't know I had. I knew I had that limit, but with this jacket, I think I surpassed that limit. That when I was wearing it and modeling it, people were seriously thinking, "Oh man, that looks like a nice jacket. Where did you bought that? Or who you got that jacket from?" I'm like, "No, I made that jacket." Like my wife was telling me, it looks just like a regular plain jacket. It just looks just like a regular old jacket. And I was just like, yes, thank you. if my cosplays look like regular clothes wear, I will wear them every day. But no, this video is talking about how I made Nero's jacket. Like always, I'm going to be going in detail and talking about over the video on the steps that I took to create this jacket. So enjoy this video, guys. Probably after this video is gonna be the super extra thing that I made for him, which probably is gonna be super fun for you guys to watch and enjoy, and also to create. So yeah, enjoy the video, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna be going over every little detail that I made for this jacket. So enjoy the video. Here I am making Nero's jacket. For the patterns themselves, do not mind my back. For the patterns themselves, I basically use the patterns that I made for Nero. Obviously this jacket you guys can buy, and you guys can get this pattern on the link below my Etsy store, or if you guys want a made to order jacket as well, just message me beforehand. It's just I don't have the space to create big projects like that, but if you guys message me beforehand with a time frame of what you like this jacket, I'll put in the accommodation. I'll see if I can work on it. But basically the pattern that I use is basically my own pattern that I created for Nero. Nero has a simple jacket. I want to say a trench jacket, which is basically like a military trench coat, but I just obviously just modified based to what his needs. So yeah, it's a simple jacket. Honestly, I traced the sleeves, I traced the back and the front. I used 2 different kinds of fabrics. If you guys know me, I'm basically kind of like the cosplayer on a budget or so. I really don't buy that much fancy fabric or expensive fabric. What I generally do is I use just bed sheets. But when I mean bed sheets, yeah, just regular plain old bed sheets. That's honestly what I use to create all my fabric costumes. Yes, granted, it's not the best material you can get out there. There's probably way better material for the cost. But basically, I just like using this because it's more cost effective for me, and it gives me the experience for when I want to use better fabric. But for now, I'm basically using bedsheet fabric. That's what I like to use. Sometimes I use the fake leather that I get from Spandex World or Walmart, and I just basically use everything around me that I can. But for this jacket alone, I use bedsheet material. So yeah, I'm gonna be tracing. I'm gonna be cutting everything. I'm gonna be modifying, as you guys can see. Also, to give the jacket the added thickness, I use quilt bathing. I've been doing this since I've been doing my Dante. For my Devil May Cry 5 Dante tutorial, I basically use quilt baiting. I learned how to use it better. Probably for the next Devil May Cry costume that I do once I resume my Devil May Cry project, most likely it's gonna be I'm only gonna work on the body, but I'm not gonna put quilt baiting on the sleeves, because the sleeves are thick and heavy enough that sometimes you can put your arm in, and that's basically a mistake of mine. But yeah, that's basically it. So you guys gonna watch me basically create the Nero coat. Here I'm gonna be modifying it. I'm gonna be painting it to suit Nero's color and just basically putting it together. And I'm gonna be talking about how I did certain things on the coat itself. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. I'm gonna be jumping in on things I have to explain and things that I would have done differently if I could. So enjoy the video. Guys, for this part of Nero's jacket, as you guys saw, I basically painted the brown fake leather and turned it into black. And if you guys are wondering why I'm drawing lines across the fake leather, it's because Nero has this top stitching details that he has on his coat, and I'm basically just drawing where the top stitching would be, and I'm just drawing lines across from each other, and then I draw it to the other side as well. And that's basically how I created the top stitching detail that Nero has on his coat. At first, I wanted to use some raised leather details, but the leather that I bought wasn't actually enough for the coat itself. So I basically pulled out the fake leather that I've been saving for a while, and I put it to good use. And I should have just done that instead of wasting the $10 or so that I got on the little bit of leather. But this worked well because I can use the leather for other projects. So basically, right now I'm just doing a top stitch on the opposite side. I was scared with the fake leather, didn't want to go through with the sewing machine because it's painted on one side, but it actually went through pretty well. So I was really happy with that. This part right now, I'm basically sewing the hood together of the jacket itself. It already has a quilt bait on the inside, and then I flip it over and I do some top stitching. Hopefully I can upgrade my sewing machine pretty soon to get a serger, which is gonna make top stitching so much easier. But right now I'm basically happy with what I have. I'm making the best use of everything, and honestly it just shows that you guys don't really have to get the most expensive materials or the most expensive tools to create amazing cosplays. I know I don't. It would just be nice to have, but I know what I have and I can work with it, and I'm just grateful with everything that I have. So as you guys can see, I'm basically gonna be sewing Nero's coat together. I'm gonna be messing with the sewing machine a lot, but I'm basically putting Nero's coat together in one piece. So you guys gonna see for the next couple minutes or so, I'm gonna be sewing the underside, I'm gonna be sewing the quilt bait in, and then I'm gonna be sewing the main color of Nero's coat and flipping the coat inside out and just making sure it's on the correct side and adding zippers and all the other little details I'm gonna be talking over. So enjoy the rest of the video, guys. I'm gonna be jumping in as always to explain a little detail that I did and putting Nero's coat together. Everyone, and this is basically how I made the pockets for Nero's coat. The pockets were actually super simple and super easy to do. There was honestly nothing to them. I just basically top stitched the pockets. I still wear. What I did is I basically sewed the black and not the black, the navy blue and the brown together, flipped it inside out, and then I top stitched it to the coat itself, and then I did a little flap as well. I sewed the flap, put it inside out, sewed it on top, and then I flipped it over so I can have a nice clean edge to them. And that's basically it. You guys are gonna see me do the pockets. Later after that is gonna be the small details like the zipper and the belt that he has on his coat. I'm gonna be talking over those and explaining what I did. Here I am making the belt for the coats. Basically the material that I use a lot of felt fabric to create belts and boots now. But I'm gonna be jumping into finding and see if I can find a better material. In a budget wise, you guys can use felt and use fabric on top, and you can glue it on. You can sew it on. That's honestly what I used to do all my belts now. I use felt, and it's a really good material. But I'm trying to find alternatives that I can use to make it look better. But for now, I'm using felt. So basically, everything into this is I'm sewing the pockets on top of the jacket. And then later on, I'm sewing all the little belt details, and after that, I use some rivets to create the little belt loops, the little belt holes. I'm gonna be going over everything that I did, like I said previously. But right now, I'm basically sewing all those little belt details on top of the coat right now, as you guys can see. And I'm doing a lot of top stitching on the coat itself. So it was most definitely a challenge doing the top stitching, because I had to, after I was done sewing it, I had to pull the jacket away so far that I was basically wasting thread. And I was just so upset with myself, but what could I do? This is basically the way that I do stuff, and I'm still learning how to do it properly, but it came out good nonetheless. So right now, you guys are gonna see me do a lot of top stitching in the coat itself, regarding the pockets and the little belt details that he has. And later on, like I said, I'm gonna be making little belt holes. I'm gonna be adhering little belt loops and all the little details that the coat has. So once I get to that part, I'm gonna be explaining what I did and what materials I bought. This is basically how I did Nero's sleeve. I just cut it off, rip it off apart, burned it, and that's how it was done. Pretty simple. And right now I'm working on the belt loops. So basically the way that I did it with the belt loops is, this is actually my first try, and then I ripped off the loops because the belt, they were not long enough, and I was not about to remake them all over again. So basically what I did is, since they were pretty simple to rip off, I just basically sewed it, as you guys can see. But picture that I actually sewed it longer in the same sense. I took the shorter end and then I left the longer end by itself so it can go through the little belt loops and attach it to the coat itself. And right now basically making the little belt holes, the little belt loop holes. And I think most likely you guys see me, ooh, sorry about that. You guys see me fixing the belt loop right here because it wasn't long enough. So I'll go back into the sewing machine and I fix it. And after that, I start sewing on top of it where the belt loops are gonna go. I do a lot of top stitching on this coat. There was a lot of top stitching on this jacket by itself. So yeah, the little details that are left over, honestly, it's just me doing the little, adding the little ribbons that it has, added the little belt loops and the little holes that the buckles are gonna be going through. And that's basically it for Nero's jacket. There's a couple minutes left in the tutorial, so I just want to say thank you guys for watching this tutorial. I know this tutorial was supposed to come out Wednesday. I apologize for that. My computer has been acting a lot lately. I ordered some new computer parts, are on the way. I order a new RAM, I order a new CPU, I just everything. I order SSD, which I've done since I had this computer for the past like 3 to 4 years now. But I'm getting these videos on the way. Next part is gonna be this video is gonna be coming out Friday for you guys. The following that is gonna be Monday, and that's basically when the tutorial ends. Either next Wednesday or next Friday, I'm gonna be talking about the new content that's gonna be going up on my channel. Also, there's gonna be a lot of new Etsy listings going on my channel as well. So I'm excited to put up new content for Etsy so you guys can buy it. Hopefully you guys like the pattern. It's from a couple popular games that I've been getting into lately, and I'm just super happy that I'm just getting into these games. So right now, as you guys can see, I'm just doing little zipper details, and that's basically it for the coat. I just want to say, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching the tutorial. Like I said, this is almost the second to last video for the tutorial series, and then the last video is gonna be this coming Monday, and it's gonna be final. So thank you guys so much for watching. All my links are gonna be down below. My Etsy store, all the patterns that I use for in general for the Devil May Cry 5 Nero commission. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.